So look at this video. I found this. This kind of had me dying a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And this is going to be funny because lately I've been coming to find that like the things that I go, this is hilarious to me and I feel like it's going to make Ashley laugh, do not make you laugh. I'm starting to notice this become like a thing with me. It's almost like how like women like to see men get hurt. You like to laugh when a man gets hurt, right? This is hurting me.
Oh.
The fact that you're not laughing is hurting me. I feel like you get more enjoyment out of that watching me squirm. No, I'm kidding, of course. But no, this guy was pretty funny. This is a man telling you he's gonna give you the keys, right? This is what black people like to say. They like to give you the keys. They go, I'm gonna hand you the keys right now. He's gonna tell you how to tell if a nigga gay. All right? Okay. That's the whole thing.
You know what? I'm about to put an end to this shit once and for all. This constant back and forth in the black community between black men and black women because black women do not know how to tell if a nigga is gay or not. And they coming up with all this wild ass shit. If a nigga shit solid, he's gay.
If a nigga shit solid, he's gay. Is that actually a thing in the black community? This is like, that one's beyond me. I never heard that in my fucking life. If a guy shits solid, he's gay. Is that supposed to be like a tight, like a loose asshole kind of thing or something like that?
Well, that doesn't seem like that's how that would work.
No, because that would have to do with your insides. Just like you got it good. You got the fiber. You're keeping the poops are getting held together nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the sign of a healthy man. I don't know if that's the sign of a gay man.
I don't know. I don't get that one.
Do black women just assume that gay men are healthier than straight men are just always unhealthy? So they go, his shits are solid. He's healthy as a fucking, you know what I mean? He's healthy as a bright summer day. He has to be gay. This is, and I'm not even trying to play jokes here. This one actually kind of threw me off a little bit because
I'm not understanding it either.
I never heard that. And it's funny that he's kind of going like, all you bitches out there are stupid. Y'all think that if a nigga shit solid, he gay, right? No, I'm going to tell you how to tell if a guy's really gay, right? He's already calling it out for what it is because it's obviously dumb. If a guy shits solid, he's gay. Come on. I'd take the limp wrist theory over that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but let's hear this guy out. I want to know. What is it going to...
You already heard this?
Of course I've heard it. I put it on the goddamn list. But you have to play to the people. This is scripted content, and you're fucking it up.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding, of course. This is completely unscripted content.
Keep going.
Line?
Go away.
What's my line? I need the line. No, I'm kidding, of course.
You're not. And they coming up with all this wild ass shit. If a nigga shit solid, he's gay. Yeah, nigga shit solid, nigga better keep the runs. All this dumb shit. So I'm about to kill this shit and give y'all the question that you need to ask to know if the nigga is gay. This is 100% foolproof, okay? If the nigga voted for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, if he is with the Democratic liberals, the nigga's gay. What the fuck?
Got him. Yo, he put such an exclamation, like the facial expression that he locks down after he says that is the biggest exclamation point that you could put at the end of that. He goes, if he voted for Biden, Kamala Harris, that motherfucker's down with the Democratic Party. Now, I just thought that this was very funny to me. Personally, because a lot of black people are known to be Democrats.
Yeah, I did know that. I did.
So this guy is essentially saying that all you niggas is gay. You know? Like, that's what I'm just saying. This is hilarious as hell to me. This is so funny. And there's like 7 seconds left in this video. What else does he say? I love the facial expression, the lock-in after he says that. He goes, that nigga is gay. And just like locks it in like real quick afterwards.
Harris, if he is with the Democratic liberals, the nigga's gay. He's gay.
You saw the lock-in? That's Shannon Sharp-esque right there. That is very Shannon Sharp coded, who also walks the line. Nobody can tell if that nigga gay or not gay. Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
You don't know Shannon Sharp?
No.
Ooh-wee. You better tell somebody. You better look it up, girl. Shannon Sharp is a crazy one.
Can I look it up now?
No.
Okay.
No, you can look up who's Shannon. I don't give a fuck.
99.99% gay. You're welcome. You know?
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I love you. You're welcome. That is so funny. Why don't we just look up Shannon Sharp together? I'll show you who Shannon Sharp is.
I have seen this person.
You've seen Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Now, did you type in gay after?
No.
You got to type in Shannon Sharp gay and then look at some of the imagery that we have here. Yo, this motherfucker gay as hell, bro. Look at that image. Look at that purse right there. Now, you think that ain't even that bad, right? Tell me about this one, though. Tell me about this
look
one,
at
though.
that stance.
That's some sugar in the tank. That's Shannon Sharp, right? But this is why I say Shannon, nobody can tell. It's because, like, then the next week after this video comes out, he goes and accidentally goes on Instagram Live while he's fucking a bitch.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know. You know, how do you accidentally? You have to hit like 5 buttons to even go live. Like, nobody just accidentally slips and goes live. You have to type in a title. It even asks you, you're about to go live. Are you sure? Like, you know, it says the shit. Like, so people were very skeptical about the whole Shannon Sharp thing. But now that we know how to tell if a motherfucker's gay, we don't have to worry about stuff like that, you know? So that'll bring us to the intro of today's show. Welcome to Lost Docs Media. This is a podcast that makes you take a second look at what you just watched. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit the notification so you can catch us when we go live, because we do not announce that. New episodes of the show go up every Wednesday. Audio goes up on any of your favorite podcast platforms at 4 a.m. Video goes up on YouTube and Spotify at 4 p.m. We have a lot of good stuff to get into this episode. We have, what do we got? We got some Jeff Dye, dude. Oh, my God. We have some good old Jeff Dye. Dude, Jeff Dye is slowly becoming the biggest laughingstock in the comedy scene right now. And with the canceling, essentially, quote unquote, the canceling of Lemon Party on YouTube, right? If you don't know the podcast Lemon Party, again, look it up. We can't explain everything to you. But with the cancellation of Lemon Party, a lot of people have been suspecting that it's behind, Jeff Dye is behind it, right? And the reason for that being is because the main host of Lemon Party, Ben Avery, has a solo show that he does outside of that. And on that show, he's been talking a lot of shit about Jeff Dye. Like, literally pointing harpoons at the screen and being like, Jeff Dye, I'm going to fucking get you. Like, you know what I mean? And there's, like, people watching this. And then all of a sudden, Lemon Party gets taken down, right? Or actually, no, I lied. It was Ben's show originally gets taken down from YouTube. And then hours later, Lemon Party gets taken down. A channel that is not related to Ben's show has different emails associated with it, and they deleted Lemon Party under the guise of circumvention, right? This circumvention being YouTube was essentially saying, we deleted your one channel, and now we see that you're on this one. It seems like you're trying to get around the rules, right? So with this is bringing a big spotlight on Jeff Dye. A lot of people have been really getting into Jeff Dye. And I had first came across Jeff Dye. I'll say it again, Jeff Dye. I said his name like 8 times. I came across the guy on an episode of Kill Tony, and then Red Bar was covering him. So I had seen that he was kind of like a fool, but I never really dove in. And then I watched my first episode of his podcast, Die Hard, and I go, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So we'll be jumping into some of those time codes a little bit later. We also have Lemaire Lee finally speaks on his beef with Luis Gay Gomez. We'll be talking about that. And then we watched Free Bert, right?
I didn't.
No, well, we watched episodes
the
of it
show,
together.
the
Free Bert.
Yeah.
We watched it live. I was gonna say I have proof.
When do you say?
I have proof that you watched it. What do you mean you didn't watch
I was
it?
thinking about that he was on Joe Rogan. I was like, I didn't watch
No,
that.
you didn't watch that, but I watched Joe Rogan because now he's on this little podcast tour to promote his show Free Bert on Netflix, which I'm going to tell you guys right now, we watched Free Bert so that you don't have to, right? And we couldn't get past 2 episodes. It was very, very bad. It was very bad. It portrays his life and stuff like that, but it's too on the nose. His kids are the same names. He has the same job. I get it that he wants to make it as real and authentic as possible. It's like you got to be like a side character in that. You know what I mean? Like you, the Bert Kreischer, you got to be like the guy's therapist or something. You know what I mean?
Be the janitor.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
school.
Be like the whimsical janitor that hangs out in the background, says like a couple inspirational things, while you're cleaning shit out of a toilet.
Yeah.
You could say, lessons are purchased in the failures of hardship or something like, you know what I mean? You say something gay like that to him. Get real Indian. My mom is texting
Nothing
me.
changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes, of course. So we have a lot of good stuff to get into. All that and more on this week's episode of Lost Ox Media. I kind of wanted to start with the Bert Kreischer stuff, actually. Let's start with that. So as we just got done saying, Bert Kreischer, he's doing a little bit of like a podcast run for being, a promoter of his show, Free Bert, right? What's funny about this is I watched this episode of Joe Rogan. He did an episode of We Might Be Drunk with Mark Norman and Sam Morril, right? Now, you remember a couple days ago, we started to watch Legion of Skanks, and the guests on Legion of Skanks were Mark Norman and Sam Morril, right? Mm-hmm. And they bring up Bert's show, Free Bert, on there. And Lewis is like, yeah, Bert's doing this like podcast tour and he's in New York right now. And we tried to get him to come on to Legion of Skanks and he refuses to come on, and he won't come on to any of these comedy podcasts because we think that he's doing like just TV stuff to promote the show, right? And Sam and Mark are like, actually, he's coming on We Might Be Drunk tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like Bert like won't do Legion of Skanks to help promote his show. He's like, I don't want these kinds of people watching my shit. He's like, that's not what we do here. I just thought that was very funny that he'll do Rogan, he'll do We Might Be Drunk, but he refuses to do Legion of Skanks, right? So look at this. This is funny right here. We all know that Bert is an idiot. He's very aloof, and he doesn't seem to understand the real world for what it is. If it doesn't have to do with him directly or his lifestyle, he thinks that it doesn't exist somehow. You know what I mean? It's very, very crazy shit, right? So I want you to listen. Bert's telling this story right here about how Shane Gillis was on his tour bus with him and his daughters were there. And they were all drinking on the tour bus and stuff like that. And then Shane starts, poking at Bert's daughters and going, I know you guys are sneaking beers. I know you guys are sneaking beers. Just tell me. I'm not going to tell your dad. Just tell me. Right? Mm-hmm. And Shane just rats him out immediately. Shane Gillis, a good old fucking friend or foe, Shane Gillis, rats him out immediately. But what they start talking about immediately after that, Joe starts calling out Bert for being like a shitty father. And then it leads into something so much better. Watch this.
You guys are sneaking beers. And they're like, we're not sneaking beers. He goes, I can smell the beer on you. And they're like, we've been sneaking beers. And he goes, okay. And he just sits down right next to me. He goes, Georgia's sneaking beers.
Did you know she was sneaking beers?
No, I had no idea. Shane just fucking ratted her out.
She's your daughter.
Yeah.
You're getting hammered every night. You're not going to notice. Like, Dad's drunk.
She's your daughter. You're getting hammered every night. He goes, yeah, of course you ain't going to notice. You're just as drunk as they. Imagine.
Right.
Bert is so out of his goddamn mind, he can't tell if his kids are drunk. You cannot be that kind of father.
There's a lot of them out there.
You get what I'm saying? And then you're like making a whole TV show about like fatherhood and your life and shit like that. It's like, come on, bro. What's the point of the TV show then? to get a good laugh because that shit did not have
was
many
not
jokes
funny.
in it. There were not any jokes in it. He told a couple stand-up jokes about how Joe Rogan has a tiny penis or something like that, and that was about it. Other than that, I didn't hear too many funny jokes. So it's just so funny that Joe's like immediately like, dude, it's like you're getting wasted around your kids. This shit ain't funny, bro. Like, even Joe's laugh, you could tell he's like suppressing it. Because normally Joe would be like, bah! Like, you know that stupid ass laugh he does? I hate it.
Yeah.
You're getting hammered every night. You're not going to notice. Like, Dad's drunk. He won't even know if we're drunk.
She would, yeah. It's funny because I go to like her college and other.
Bert, yeah. How do I change the subject?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Well, okay. I mean, I did kind of hear you listen to this morning, and the changing of the subject is worse.
The changing of the subject is worse. Wait until you guys listen to this.
She would, yeah. It's funny because I go to like her college and other dads, party. And like she's always like kind of low key about it. And like the dads will like bite beer cans and kill them and shotgun beers.
What?
I know, that's what dads do.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
You hear Jamie in the background? Even Jamie in the background is laughing like, Bert, what are you even talking about right now? Bert, what are you even saying? Look at Joe's face. Joe's like, dads do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Joe's like, I'm a dad. Wait a minute. Joe's like, I'm not only a dad, I'm a stepfather to a half-black child. I don't ever do anything like that. Like Joe is literally perplexed right now. Ask Perplexity, a sponsor of the Joe Rogan podcast. That's so fucking funny that, look at Bert's face. He's like, please go along with this, Joe. Please. I'm begging you. Joe, I'm going to pull something out of my ass right now. I'm going to need you to go along with it, please. It reminds me of Chris Stefano. How delusional you have to be. Bert thinks every dad acts like him. He goes, every dad, they bite into beer cans. They crack open brewskis at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? They're drinking and driving when they take their daughters to school. He's like, this is dad shit. Joe's like, no, dads are like the main providers of the home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they got responsibilities, my dude. Like, what are you talking about?
And other dads, party. And like she's always like,
even the pause. He says other dads party. And he's like waiting for Joe to be like, yeah, we all party, bro. All of us dads, we party. He's like waiting for Joe to do that.
He's like living in vacation mode
all the time.
All the time.
He cannot get out of it. It's so funny. Watch him. He's waiting for Joe to pick it up. Joe's like, I'm not picking that up. You expect me to touch that?
and like she's like her college and other dads, party. And like she's always like kind of low key about it. And like the dads will like bite beer cans and kill them and shotgun beers.
What?
I know, that's what dads do.
Really?
Yeah.
Which dads? I don't mean these dads.
Well, you're in a different school zone.
You're in a different school zone. He says you're in a different school zone. Us LA dads, we do that. A lot has changed since COVID, Joe. They go on for 45 minutes about COVID. Imagine. A lot, dude. That was wild to me to think. He goes, all these dads are partying. Joe is in the right here for once. And Joe's like, I don't know what you're talking about. These are like not things that responsible fathers are doing.
Right.
In their life. Bert is completely lost. He goes, I thought this was like, and then Bert is the type of guy that wonders why in like the pickup line at school, why none of the dads like really want to fuck with him. They go, every time he comes up, he reeks of alcohol. He's trying to get us to shotgun beers with them in the parking lot and shit. You know what I mean? And he's like, I don't know why I just don't fit in, Joe.
Bite beer cans and kill them and shotgun beers.
What?
I know, that's what dads do.
Really?
Yeah.
Which dads? I don't mean these dads.
Well, you're in a different school zone.
Jamie in the background cackling.
That's what dads do. And I'm always like, this is what I do for a living. Like, I could fucking murder these guys. She's like, ugh, Dad. I'm like, oh, you like him crushing a beer and shotgunning it? Fucking, I can microdose. What are we talking about?
I can microdose. I'm like the coolest dad in the world, bro. Look at this guy. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I want to pat you again. I don't know the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
Even Joe, like you can hear Joe's like, let's change the subject here.
Fucking, like a microdose. What are we talking about?
Joe's not on
What were you
board.
telling about, Jamie? You were sorry, but right before we get started, you were telling me about something.
Dude, tell me about a
REM sleep or lucid dream.
Joe's like, what were we talking about? Doesn't even try to segue that
Well, I mean,
at all. Does not even attempt to segue it.
what is Bert doing?
I have zero idea. And Bert's about to call him out again. Wait until you hear the next thing that they start talking
okay,
about.
first of all, aren't they like buddies?
Yeah, like they're supposed to be like closest of friends. Joe's the one that kind of like started Bert. Well, he didn't absolutely start Bert's career, but in comedy, he was the one that was like, Bert, you should start telling that machine story. The one that we've now heard a million fucking times.
Right, but like, they are friends, do they not? Joe already knows he's going to say some dumb shit. Wouldn't he be like, hey, don't say dumb shit?
I feel like Joe picks and chooses with this kind of stuff. There are people that will come on his podcast and say dumb shit, and he just lets it ride. For some reason, he has certain people like Bert that he will just call out like that. Brian Callen's another one that he'll do that too. You remember we were talking, were you on the show when I brought that up? I think I might have been doing it solo at that time. Dude, Joe called out Brian Callen on this one episode. They almost got into like a full-blown argument and shit because of Joe talking shit to Brian and Brian like finally sticking up for himself.
Well, yeah. Oh, I was going to say, Bert's not going to stick up for himself.
100% he will not. Wait until, dude, okay, this kind of segues into the next thing we're going to talk about. Bert not sticking up for himself. Bert will
Bert
literally...
just wants to be accepted by everybody.
He
wants
does.
to be the life of the party all the time.
No matter what. You could literally say anything to this guy. You could string together any narrative you want to his face even. And he will go along with it just in the hopes of you liking him at the end of that encounter. Nothing proves this more than this next thing we're going to talk about. Listen to this.
Sleep communication. I got to figure out where I put it. I sent a DM to someone about it, I think.
So I got to tell you, before we find that, so Eddie Bravo calls me the other day, and he goes, did Bert Kreischer lose everything and then get it back? I go, what? And he goes, yeah, it was so confusing. He was on Shannon Sharp's show, and Shannon says to Bert, what was it like? You lost everything, and then you had to build it back. And he goes, it seemed like it wasn't true. I go, it's not true. And I go, did Bert go along with it? He goes, yeah. I go, what?
Did Bert go along with it? I go, yeah. So now Bert is on Shannon Sharp's podcast, right? It's the guy we just got done.
Yep.
Shannon's, for you don't know. And for maybe the couple of people who don't know at home, Shannon Sharp's podcast is called Club Shay Shay. This was the same podcast where like Cat Williams had that big outing of all the people in Hollywood and blah, 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 you know, so that's Shannon Sharp shit, right? Bert's on Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp looks Bert dead in his face and goes, so you lost everything and you had to build it all back. What was that like? No, Bert knows that this did not happen to him ever. Like as much as we all wanted it to happen to him, it didn't happen. He never lost everything he had. If anything, he has more now than he's ever had ever, right? And he looks Shannon Sharp in the eye, goes along with this, and it was hard. I had to focus. I had to lock in. I had to, all why? Because you're scared that there's going to be some sort of friction here in the pot. Correct the guy and move the fuck on.
Yeah, that's not even a big deal.
Exactly. Like, how badly do you want to be accepted? You will literally let people string together their own narratives to your face, and you still will not stick up for yourself to go over this. Now, let's hear what Bert's response to this is.
Lost everything, and then you had to build it back. And he goes, it seemed like it wasn't true. I go, it's not true. And I go, did Bert go along with it? He goes, yeah. I go, what? And I couldn't wait to talk to you about it because I could totally picture someone saying to you some story that totally never happened and you not wanting to be confrontational, so you just go along with it. Is that what happened?
100%.
100%.
The fucking whole show.
How did you not say that?
The whole show, he said. Yo, Shannon does like 2 hours with these guys. So now Bert literally just practically admitted to just, I practically lied to everyone the whole show. I just lied to everyone in Shannon's audience, all the people that watch me that are fans of me. I lied to all of them. You know.
Well, also, like, the people that are fans of him, how do they not already know this? That's a lie.
That's the thing. Anyone who's watching, this is like the point that Joe's making, essentially, without like saying it. He gets a call from this guy who knows both Joe and Bert, this Eddie Bravo guy. He sees the show and goes, I know for a fact that's not true. Anyone who knows Bert is a fan of Bert, you know what I mean? They're going to know that that's not true. They're going to have the same reaction. They're just not going to have the resource to call Joe Rogan and go, is this true? You know what I mean? But any of Bert's fans are going to watch this and go, wait a minute, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, and these guys wonder why people start hounding on them online and shit. You have no credibility. It's like, you're not even a journalist, bro. Like, this isn't even, it's not like this is something that you have to worry about, like, ruining your image or something. Who gives a fuck? Just correct the guy and move on. Bert is such a pussy that he, like, cannot, Joe's calling it on the head. He goes, you're so afraid of confrontation that you just let it go by. Like, why?
Yeah.
You sit there and you fucking lie to everyone for 2 hours on Shannon Sharp. Like, that's crazy, dude. Now watch, we're gonna pivot a little bit away from Bert and focus on Joe a little bit. It's kind of funny. So Joe, remember last time when Joe had Whitney Cummings on? We were talking about that. Mm-hmm. Whitney and Joe were playing it all cool. We don't pay attention to critics. We don't pay attention to the comments. We don't do none of that, right?
Then Whitney has a meltdown.
Whitney has a meltdown 2 days later. Now Whitney's under fire because she started criticizing Miss Rachel. You know this Miss Rachel online?
I do know Miss Rachel.
Bro, Miss Rachel is a fucking show for fucking retarded children, right? Neurodivergent, if you want to be politically correct about it. And so she's naturally loud and whatever, you know. She's got it. These kids are like stimulant, like they need it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So Whitney gets on Twitter and starts like going like, I don't know about y'all, but Miss Rachel's a little much. Like, why has she got to be yelling and screaming? Like, we turned it off when our kid was watching it. And people start going crazy on her. They're like, bro, you're attacking this. She's like, she's doing this content for like mentally disabled children. And you're giving this girl shit. You know what I mean? So now Joe's about to touch on this. He's about to go to bat for his friend, Whitney Cummings.
So, you know, the Whitney thing about Miss Rachel. I didn't know who Miss Rachel is.
I found out who
don't.
she is today. 1.8 billion views on how to say mom and dad. And I was like, it makes sense.
Isn't that nice? Bert has to do that. He has to do it with Miss Rachel because he's like, he like watches Miss Rachel with his kid, but not like in the way that normal parents would, where they kind of just tune it out and like do shit on their phone. Bert's like actually
actively
glued to the screen watching Miss Rachel with his kids. He's going, mom and dad. Look at that. I love that. Bert is so fucking cute.
Views on how to say mom and dad.
Look
and
at
I was
that.
like,
I love that.
it makes sense, man.
Well, she's an educator for neurodivergent kids. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I watched a couple of videos.
Pull up some videos of Miss Rachel, because after people were dragged, by the way, the worst fucking people were going after her.
Really?
People that I know that are comedians that are just unbelievably shitty, dishonest, disingenuous human beings, bad faith communicators, people that just like completely distort anything about the person.
Yeah.
And it's just because she's successful.
Is it? Is it just because she's successful, or is it because she's coming after a fucking content creator who's doing child's content for neurodivergent children, however you say it? Neurodivergent children, you know? And it's so funny. Joe, he prides himself on being someone who doesn't read the comments, right? He seems to know an awful lot about what the fuck is happening in Whitney Cummings' goddamn comments.
Well, maybe he's not reading his comments.
What the fuck is that about? Trust me, if you're reading other people's, you're reading yours. Like, this is crazy to me. And Joe, sometimes, like, don't get it twisted. If you pay attention to some of the shit that Joe's saying, he will touch on criticisms that he gets in the comments. Like, 100%. There's no way he doesn't read any of them.
Right.
And look, even if you don't read any of them, there's no way you don't get exposure to any of them, because some asshole in the green room is going to be like, damn, dude, this person said this on your show, the last episode. You know, someone's going to say something to you.
Yeah.
So even if you're not getting it all the time, but it's just so every time Joe does this, I just go, you're no different. Like you're saying, oh, these bad faith communicators and blah. I see Joe talk shit on his show all the goddamn time. All the time. We just watched him talking shit about the Louis J. Gomez thing. He tries to do it in this condescending, I'm still a nice guy kind of way. It's like, fuck off, dude. Bad faith communicators. It's like this pussy ass liberal talk. Bad faith communicators. You know who says stuff like bad faith communicator? Greta Thunberg.
Pull up some videos of Miss Rachel because after people were dragged, by the way, the worst fucking people were going after her.
Really?
People that I know that are comedians that are just unbelievably shitty, dishonest, disingenuous human beings, bad faith communicators, people that just like completely distort anything about the person.
Yeah.
And it's just because she's successful. It's a giant part of it. And so they see her making some crack about Miss Rachel because she was watching it with her kid. She didn't know what the fuck it is. So here's Miss Rachel. Let me hear what this sounds like.
Watch this. Joe's reaction after this is so funny. Watch this.
Letters and
I don't
have
hear it, Jamie.
two really special guests.
No. No, not at all.
Dinosaur
I don't hear it.
eggs.
I don't hear anything in my own microphone.
Can you help me count them?
Do you hear it? But I don't hear
you.
you, Bert. There we go. There we go.
2, 3, 4. 4 must be the number of the day. The dinosaur eggs are hatching. Wow, how many dinosaurs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, pause. Why would you go after this?
So now look, Joe just got done talking all that shit, right? He goes, all these bad faith communicators and blah, blah, blah. And now, even after watching Miss Rachel's content, he even has the same opinion as every fucking other person on the internet. He says, why would anyone go after this? You see the kind of like fucking figure eight fucking thinking that is happening here? And this is why I always bitch about it. I go, how people do not see through Rogan's retarded bullshit is so beyond me. Like, you just got done trashing this very opinion that you're having, essentially. The only reason that you had a shit talk about it prior is because it was coming from people online to Whitney. You're having the same opinion as them.
Yeah.
Are you a bad faith communicator now? Does this make you a fucking a person who distorts reality and is you know what I mean? Like, this guy's fucking stupid as shit. And then he continues with this. Go ahead, you guys.
Well, I mean, this is his show. He doesn't look at it before he makes these comments.
He's retarded. He does this all the time. I can't even tell you how many times Joe says something with the utmost confidence, and then literally in the same breath, right after finishing the sentence, goes, Jamie, actually, let's look that up real fast. I want to make sure I'm not spreading misinformation.
Spreading misinformation
You
everywhere.
just got done saying it with your whole fucking chest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Tommy said it best. Like, when you work out all
What?
He's got a lot of confidence.
He really does. For someone who, like, never knows what the fuck he's talking about, he has the most confidence ever. And it's because he talks to, like, a scientist, like, on the weekdays. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so you have some friends in the scientific field. This does not make you an expert on all things. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're a curious monkey. We get it. Like, calm down.
day, it kills all that internal chatter. Like, you don't worry about things anymore. All that, what about this? What about that? That what about this? What about that shit is your mind thinking there's threats out there in the world because there used to be. Because you're programmed to think about, like, what's out there? What's coming for me? Is there a neighboring tribe that's coming over the top of the hill? Where am I going to get my food? There's all that stuff's built in as a human reward system. If you don't meet that human reward system, you're just doom scrolling on TikTok and Twitter all day and shitting on people like, fuck Whitney Cummings and Miss Rachel.
Fuck Whitney Cummings. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Now, this is what I'm saying. You remember the last time when I said about Whitney, I go, is this the face of someone who's well adjusted? Right? It's this, I'm literally thinking the same thing. I look at this, I go, I don't know if Joe is as sane as he thinks he is. Looking at this. I'm sitting across from this at the table, I'm scared for my fucking life. I go, it's only a matter of time before this monkey completely loses it. And I'm missing toes and fingers, and he rips my lips off and all sorts of shit. Primate style.
Day and shitting on people like fuck Whitney Cummings and Miss Rachel was they're just mentally ill slobs, all of them, and their opinion should be dismissed. That's why.
You know what's funny is this little rant right here started as him talking about how working out is good for your mental health.
Oh.
How people who don't work out, now this is pivoting into people who don't work out are useless doom scrollers who want to sit there and talk shit about Whitney Cummings online. Not everybody who's not working out is this like completely miserable, depressed piece of shit. You get what I mean here? It's like, yes, those things can help with your mental health. I'm not saying they don't. But just because you don't do them doesn't automatically categorize you as like some useless, depressed piece of shit. Like, and this is the kind of inflated thinking that like make people hate this fucking guy. Like, I can't say it any better. I can't demonstrate it any better than something like this.
Yeah.
Like losing your mind over talking. You're literally having a conversation about how the fact that you work out every day makes you mentally stronger, mentally healthier than your everyday person, right? And then you're on your podcast
you look like this.
looking like this. I don't know. If anything, to me, this says that I should never work out a fucking day in my life. I don't know. I don't want to work out. If I'm going to end up looking like this, count me out. I'll look like Nick Fuentes. I'll look like a frog on a couch. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter.
Whitney Cummings and Miss Rachel was they're just mentally ill slobs, all of them, and their opinion should be dismissed. That's why the idea of awards is so ridiculous. Who are these people that are giving you awards? They're all unhealthy people for the most part. They're all weirdos that are caught up in this fucking bizarre, strange industry that rewards groupthink. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Rewards groupthink. Okay. Coming from the king of the fucking Austin comedy scene, the most groupiest fucking place I've ever even heard.
Well, he's at the top of it.
It's literally a cult.
Well, he's at the top of it, so he's not gonna look at it.
No, he's not. Let's end this segment with Bert telling a story about how he almost beats up a drunk. No, not he. Let's end this segment on Bert's story. Bert almost beats up a blind guy at the airport when he's drunk. Listen to this.
I almost got in a fight with a blind guy at the Austin airport.
For what?
Right after I did the show last time I was here. I was a little high. I went to the airport, a little drunk.
Mm-hmm.
He was fighting with his wife, and he grabbed her by the back of the arm to leave, and I thought he was just grabbing her by the back of the arm like a dick. And I was like, hey, and then he turned around, he had sunglasses on and a cane, and I realized that's the only way he could get to the gate.
Look at Bert being a fucking white knight.
I know.
Look at Bert. Look, that's how drunk Bert is. Bert sees this guy with like a cane, fucking giant sunglasses, right? The guy literally has to hold on to somebody to get on the plane. Bert's so drunk that imagine how that like happened, right? The guy has to grab the girl's arm just to get guided into the plane. He probably just was like, and grabbed her arm. Bert, all of a sudden, hey, you, grabs. Bert's drunk as hell, sweating, probably doesn't have a shirt on. You know what I mean? Hey, you! Oh, get away from her. The guy literally like hits Bert with the stick. Like, oh, what's going on here? I love that.
And I realized that's the only way he could get to the gate.
Look at Bert being a fucking white knight.
I know.
Stepping in, fighting blind guys.
I fucked that guy up. It is so easiest fight I've ever been in.
Remember
the look on the black guy's face at TSA when I couldn't see that he was blind already, and he grabbed his wife's arm and I went, hey, and the black guy went, oh shit, like not knowing you're talking shit to a blind guy.
Yeah, it's because he knew you're a drunk retard. He was like, yo, this shit about to go viral. The guy probably had his phone, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy probably was like, oh shit, like this, you know? Keep me out of this. Keep me out of this. I don't want no part of this. You know, Bert Kreischer. Let's give it up for Bert. Go to fight a drunk guy at the airport. That's a good way to promote free Bert. Get arrested for beating up a drunk guy at the airport. You put your mugshot right there on the thing. Hey, guys, let's free Bert. He's literally locked up right now. You beat up a drunk guy, and we cannot get him out. Please help us. So what are we moving on to? Move on to Lemaire talking a little bit of shit about this Austin comedy thing. This one's a little bit of a quiet watch, you know. I kind of just going to let this one resonate because this is from the Matt and Shane Secret Podcast Patreon. So, you know, with that being said, it's not necessarily something that, like, I guess just anyone could be looking up on the U's and the tubes, you know, even though I found it on YouTube. I don't know the point I'm trying to make. Basically, I'm saying is Lemaire's got a little bit of a story to tell about this Austin, New York City comedy beef. We talked about it a couple episodes back. Louis J. Gomez has this little text exchange with Tony Hinchcliffe. They start listing comedians that are better than each other from New York and Austin. They talk about it on the regs. Lemaire sees that episode of the regs, starts talking shit on Twitter, and the world fucking practically explodes.
And
right?
now we have Shane gone again, and we're bringing it back up in this weird-ass Wizard of Oz looking podium thing.
Oh, yeah. This is the arc. This is what Matt calls the arc. The podium setup is the arc.
Okay.
You know?
Is it always green?
They light it up different colors sometimes and stuff like that. So the reason why I wanted to touch on this is because in this whole comedy thing, Lewis has already brought it up like 2 or 3 times on his show, The Regs, right? And I'm sure he's brought it up in other fucking Legionist gangs.
Look, he's a girl. He brings it up every day.
Every second that he fucking possibly can, Lewis is probably bringing that shit up. And he's kind of making it like a big deal. Like Lewis, even to the point to where like he was talking shit about Lemaire on the Real Ass podcast when they brought it up. And he's going, Lemaire, you're not even a major player in this. Like legitimately attacking Lemaire's character and shit. Sitting there going, the only reason you're going to bat for Austin is because you followed Shane out there. If Shane was an Iceland comic, you would also be an Iceland comic. He says this, right? Lewis is taking this whole thing very much to heart. It gets to the point to where Lewis on the regs publicly says Lemaire is not getting an invitation to Skanksfest this year. If he wants to come to Skanksfest, he has to bend the knee, right? He has to bend the knee publicly and apologize to Lewis to go to Skanksfest, right? Lemaire apparently is not taking this that serious. Like, as soon as I heard them start to talk about it, I go, oh, this is going to be juicy. Lemaire's going to talk about how he was squirming when Lewis called him, all this shit. Because Lewis called this guy to call him out when he saw the tweets. No, the opposite. Lemaire was like, it was a joke. This guy was taking it way too serious. Like, I don't know. I'm still joking. I'm still having fun with it. Lemaire has no cares in the world about it, which in my opinion means that Austin, Texas won. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. If you guys are legitimately taking it serious and the guy who started the whole thing is just walking away going, you lost. You lost, in my opinion. You're taking yourselves way too seriously. I think these guys forget that they're all literally clowns. Like, that's literally what they are.
Lewis is too serious.
All the time. All the time. For a guy who just wants to get puss all the time, he's like the most serious dude I've ever met. I've never met him. But I will. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to start from the beginning. It was right from the rip they start talking about it.
Hey, we're here. We're fucking rocking and ripping in the Patreon. In the Patreon, I have Lemaire, the bad boy of comedy, dude. Bad boy, Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin, Lemaire himself.
The drama king.
Literally the drama king, bro. What the hell, man?
I don't know what show.
Why are you starting beefs?
Yeah.
I started beef. I did start a beef with a wrestling guy.
What wrestling guy?
There's a wrestling.
You keep talking about this. This is way less significant.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Cody Rhodes or whatever his name is, dude.
You said Chris Benoit. is
There was
okay.
there was a guy he tweeted something bad about Chris Benoit, and I was like, did he kill your family? Jeez, dude, art is forever.
So you're a troll.
Yeah, I'm a troll.
You've been trolling on X.
I'm a trolling.
Now that's important to understand. The troll aspect of all this, right? The troll aspect is the most important aspect to understand in all of this.
Okay.
That puts it all into perspective.
Yeah.
And when you take that aspect and you put that in there and you look at it through that lens, it really makes Lewis look like a total asshole.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, allegedly. You
Are
know?
an X troll. Why are you trolling on X so hard, dude?
I don't know, dude. It just felt nice, and I just
You just want a little snake venom.
yeah. The venom
Now you're
felt
beefing
nice,
with
dude.
Louis Gomez, dude.
He's beefing with me.
He's
I felt
beefing
right
with
in your
me.
crap.
Yeah.
Louis Gomez fell right into your fucking spider web. What are you gonna do with it now?
versus
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah.
You're just toying with Gomez. I saw the clip, man. Gomez was fucking.
He's furious. He's mad.
He was going in on you, bro.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even do anything.
He's going to be on the podcast soon. You guys can.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see
I
it.
might have to put my podium between you two. So, yeah, what prompted this, man? I was outside like letting my dogs pee, and I myself went on X, and I went, "What the fuck?"
I thought it was a good joke because they were talking shit about us. They were saying any comic who left New York for Austin couldn't cut it anyway.
I don't think I could have.
And then, they wouldn't be in the clubs or something. And then he said, Danny Brass funnier than all the comedians in Austin, or 80%. And then I was like, it's funny that you would say that because Danny Brass is funnier than one
that was the original tweet.
Yeah.
Don't repeat.
I thought that was a
your
funny
fucking-
joke, dude. I thought that
Don't
was
repeat
funny.
your viral attacks, dude. I don't want to hear it. So that was a joke. You attacked the regs.
Yeah.
And then the regs fired back.
Yeah.
You activated the regs. God damn it, man.
Look, even these guys can't take them seriously. He's going, you activated the regs. Like, they even, like, dude, imagine somebody going, yo, the regs are pissed at you, right? It's the regs, dude. They're pissed at you. And then you go, whoa, the regs, dude. Who are the regs? And they show you a picture of Bobby Kelly, Joe List, Dan Soder, Louis Gomez. Like, you go, what? Really? What are these, like, door guys over at the Comedy Cellar or something like that? They all look like fucking regular, like, child molesters or something like that. Every one of them looks crazy. Bobby Kelly with his bald head and his weird thick-ass glasses. Fucking Dan Soder sitting there doing fucking Macho Man Randy Savage impressions the whole goddamn time. You're sitting there trying to have a serious conversation with Dan Soder, and he's just, oh, yeah. You're like, dude, please, stop. You can't, like, he never shuts the fucking impressions off. That's what's holding that guy back. He's actually kind of funny, but he never shuts the fuck up with the fucking impressions.
He's probably been doing them since middle school.
It's annoying as fuck, dude. And then Joe List just is the most punchable guy you've ever fucking goddamn met. And then you have Lewis. That's it. Just Lewis.
All I want is peace, man.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want the fucking regs on my ass.
I don't want no problems.
We're just bad boys of comedy now. So
You activated the expendables. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Why would you do that, dude? They're vets.
I know. I love them too. Most of them. I love most of them too.
Who do you love the most? Can you rank who you
Let's
love?
sure,
the
let's be
most?
Like
positive.
ranking.
Let's do the love. Let's do a
Rank.
love tweet.
All right. I got to go Bobby Kelly number 1.
Yeah.
Dan Soder 1A. Joe List 1B.
You just hate Gomez.
He's literally just mad at Lewis right
yeah.
now. It's so fucking funny. He's like a dog that like won't look at the one person that they're mad at in the room. You ever see that? Like when you take a dog to like a vet or something and they won't look at you for the rest of the day. They
Yeah.
like look like that. And he's just like mad at just Lewis. So funny. And then he talks about the fact that he was drunk. Remember we suspected this? I was
Yeah.
like, I think he's just like doubling down. He woke up in the morning and was like, oh shit, what did I do? Now, it turns out he just like remembered and was like, yeah, let's just keep having fun with it, you know? And it's so funny watching like Crack Amico go to bat for Lewis the whole time about this. Like Crackamico is supposed to be this like rapper who makes joke songs about comedians. Any comedian. He's done him on Tom. He's done him on Bert. He's done him on fucking Akash. You know what I mean? All of them, right? To watch him do that and go from that to now literally gargling fucking Louis J. Gomez's balls is like the saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's crazy. I've literally seen Crackamico quote tweeting Lemaire's post and being like, "That's it, Lemaire. You're going after my man Louis J. Gomez. We're writing a diss track about you." It's like, can Louis's cock be any deeper lodged in your throat? At all? Like, is it possible?
Dang, dude. So then that whole thing kicked off. Were you drunk when you tweeted this?
The first one, yeah, it was New Year's Eve.
That was my
This is what I
speculation.
was saying on Deadbeat yesterday. Lemaire's like Roseanne Barr. He gets really drunk. Dudes like stuff that he doesn't remember in the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was like a Facebook wine mom where you're like, yes, yes. 3 glasses sangria, just like, this fucking guy.
I don't know.
Fuck.
I think everybody's just been looking for a reason to be mad at Austin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. It's not our fault. The world's most popular podcasts are here.
I don't know.
It's not our fault. It sounds like they have something going on with the smoke detector. So, you hearing that?
Yeah.
When Lemaire's talking?
I'm more like a Chinese guy in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just, the whole thing's so fucking dumb, dude. It's literally, like,
Yeah.
if I had to explain.
Matt has a black wife.
Oh.
I don't know if that's related at all.
Any of that stuff to my dad, he would be like, what the fuck are you? He would be angry.
You hear that? Now watch, we're going to end this section. Lewis, listen to this. Lemisi was saying that he would totally take Lewis in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match. Like, Lemisi legitimately thinks, he goes, if Lewis really wanted to go at it, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I got him.
Okay.
Like, I'm locking him in. They start talking about stamina and shit. Lemaire's like, I don't need stamina. Like, listen to this.
Yeah, the mile I'm getting washed, but
What you got? What's your mile time?
probably like 10.
10's not terrible,
Just
bro.
like, oh, if I'm walking the whole time?
No, walk's like 23 minutes.
Yeah, I'm probably going 23.
I was gonna say, I'm like 10. I'm like, that's not like the best, but it's not the worst at all.
No, I'd probably jog half a mile and then just like,
So how you gonna beat Louis J. Gomez in a wrestling match at Skankfest?
He's very fit.
I got that kind of stamina.
Stamina.
Dude, if you can't run a mile, that's your stamina.
I can pin him real quick.
That's not stamina. That's a quick defeat.
That's a quick victory. I'm going to pin him.
The Lemaire, I am excited for you in
I'm
this new
gonna pin
venture.
him. You heard it here first from Lemaire. He's going to pin Lewis. He don't need stamina.
I do think Lewis is going to win that.
Yeah, of course. Of course Lewis would beat the shit out of Lemaire. Let's not get it twisted, you know? So we're going to end this episode on a little bit of Jeff Dye. Got a little bit of Jeff Dye, dude. This is some good shit. So like I was telling you guys earlier, I kind of like came across Jeff Dye on, I think it was either his first or second appearance on Kill Tony. And then I saw a Red Bar cover him like literally right after that. And that's where I kind of learned about Jeff Dye's little DUI situation. That was a little crazy. You guys can look that up. We'll probably talk about it at some point the more we cover Jeff Dye. And I started to find out like how he's just kind of doing this whole like right-wing grift kind of thing where he's kind of like playing into this like right-wing comedy where he's telling a lot of trans jokes and a lot of shit like that, making fun of liberals and this and that, which is totally fine. Like if someone, to me, it's a little gay to be like a political comedian to that sense, whether you're right-wing or Democrat, left-wing, right? Like if you're getting up there and going, Donald Trump's orange, like it's the same thing as going up there and going like, isn't trans people, like, isn't that like the craziest thing you've ever seen? You know what I mean? They're the same to me.
Yeah.
But you can be that person. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be cool. It doesn't have to be bad, whatever. I don't know. Where I have a problem with it in Jeff's whole situation is like none of it seems authentic to me. Nothing about this guy like seems authentic to me at all. It just seemed like he's kind of doing like a Tyler Fisher, which I know you don't know, but I'm sure people in the audience know. Tyler Fisher was the same type of situation. He was a comedian who wasn't doing that great, And then this whole like people started supporting Trump and stuff like that. They started getting pissed at cancel culture. And all of a sudden, this guy is like the most right-wing comedian that you've ever seen in your entire life. So it starts equaling ticket sales. You start leaning more into it, right? That's kind of the idea that I get off of Jeff. So I watched my first ever podcast with Jeff. He has a podcast called Die Hard. Jeff Die, his podcast is named Die Hard. I watched my first ever episode of Die Hard. I wanted to share with you guys some time codes. Now, I didn't watch the the latest episode of Die Hard. This is like the second to last, like the second to latest episode, right? And this is about all I needed to see before I go. I'm going to probably watch this every single week just to fucking keep up with this fucking idiot. So let's start out with some good ones right out the gate. Jeff is about to start telling us about how he thinks that the WWE is stealing ideas from him. Right? Sounds kind of nuts. But hear him out. Hear him out. He has a podcast with Freddie Prinze Jr. where they talk about, you guessed it, WWE. So Jeff thinks that the WWE is stealing ideas from his podcast with Freddie fucking Prinze Jr. Yeah, listen to this.
Wrestling is having an interesting thing right now where I feel like someone's listening to me. I feel like someone at WWE is listening to Wrestling with Freddie and then like taking ideas. You know, these writers, they're not famous people. These writers will listen to things and steal ideas for good ideas. And we've told them. We've said on our podcast, hey, if anyone from wrestling's listening, here's what we think you should do with the bloodline. Here's what we think you should do. You know, wrestling fans won't shut the hell up about the way they would do things.
So now Jeff and Freddie Prinze Jr. are sitting there like, and on the podcast, imagine, as if they're talking to God. They're going, WWE writers, if you can hear us, please. We have some good ideas. We don't want you to steal them, though. We would like some credit. Imagine thinking that. Freddie Prinze Jr. has not been relevant since Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, since Scooby-Doo, he has not been relevant. Jeff Dye, who the fuck in the wrestling sphere is going to give a fuck about who Jeff Dye is?
Right.
As a wrestling writer person, how would they even come across this goddamn podcast to even steal ideas from it? You think the wrestling guys are sitting there going, so go on Spotify, type wrestling into the search bar, see what you come across, see what kind of podcasts they got out there. We can maybe pull some ideas from. You know how crazy that is to think that? To go, well, they're not famous people, these writers that write for WWE. So, okay, because they're not famous, they would come across it like easier than a famous person would or something. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
They would be less inclined to do it. Imagine having that big of an ego. And you're like a fucking C-level comedian. You have that big of an ego. You think the WWE is stealing ideas from me and fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. What the fuck?
And steal ideas for good ideas. And we've told them. We've said on our podcast, hey, if anyone from wrestling's listening, here's what we think you should do with the bloodline. Here's what we think you should do. You know, wrestling fans won't shut the hell up about the way they would do things. And I am a very Vince Russo type of guy when it comes to pro wrestling, where my ideas aren't great. They wouldn't be popular, but they are out of the box, which is, you know, that has its own worth. Where, like, I might miss 9 times in a row, but on that 10th time, I'll hit a fucking huge home run. And a lot of people, you know, they want a guy who's going to write and create things steadily that are good, whereas mine are just outrageous. Like, what if they did this? Or what if they faked a guy's death? Or what if a guy's head fell off? Like,
so this is what's crazy, right? He's going, my ideas aren't generic. They're not popular. They're outside the box. Now, what would a writer be going for in the writing room? They would want to go for outside the box type shit, right?
Right.
They would want to go for something that's not going to be what every person in the audience is going to think is happening, right? They need unpredictability in these kinds of things in a world where a lot of diehard fans would be able to predict what's happening. So right away, he's making a shit argument. They could have just happened to have the same idea. And the idea that he's going to list off as an example is not even like that fucking crazy of an idea. It's like, let's take A and put it in slot B. That's like literally what he did. It's crazy. Listen to this.
I'm more of that guy. And there's a guy named Vince Russo who was he's easily the most hated person in pro wrestling development ever. And I always compare myself. I'm like, I like all the weird Vince Russo shit. But one of the things that I pitched on our podcast that I said that they should do is I said, start doing things that the wrestling fans would never know or never expect. So I'm like, the one thing is that the wrestling has gotten so predictable for the everyday wrestling mark, which is like saying like a Star Wars nerd of wrestling. Like,
not what a mark is. Not what a mark is.
What was he writing down?
I don't know. He probably had some crazy, brilliant idea for like a fucking comedy bit and was like, let me write that one down. He's trying to seem like he's like always got comedy on the mind or something like that. In my opinion, I feel like that was a try hard move right there. I don't think that was based in reality. I think that was based in perception.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Everyday wrestling mark, which is like saying like a
Not what a mark is. A mark is a target. A mark is a target. If you ever watch like a detective movie that goes, there's our mark. There's the guy that we're following all day. You know what I mean? I hate when he says this. I go, it's not a fucking mark. What are you talking about?
No, or never expect. So I'm like, the one thing is...
He's writing down, he's going, pretending I'm writing down comedy bit.
Well, because I'm also like, what are you writing down? You already remembered this story. You're telling it again. And who can just write and continue a conversation like that?
On top of that, if you have a brilliant idea about what you're talking about right now, you're literally recording it.
That too.
You're literally fucking you could go right back to YouTube and go and rewind it and go right back to the brilliant idea that you had in that very moment. It's very performative, this right here. He's going, don't forget to get eggs at the grocery store. He's like literally writing something like that down. He goes, pretending to be important. Thank you.
That wrestling has gotten so predictable for the everyday wrestling mark, which is like saying like a Star Wars nerd of wrestling. Like, marks are people who like are obsessed with it and they know every little detail and they're like, technically, like these guys. Well, I was saying, well, if these are the ones that are always...
That's actually called a stan. A super fan is a stan. You remember Stan from a Slim Shady? I'm your biggest fan. This is Stan. That they call them that now.
Okay.
A super fan is like a stan.
Criticizing wrestling, then just do shit that they would never expect you to do. So that way, at least those wrestling fans will go, well, at least I didn't see it coming. And that will help. And they're doing all these crazy things. One of the things I said on the podcast was like, do title changes on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. Because everyone knows a title's not going to change on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown.
Okay, there's the idea.
Right.
Do title changes on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown. Why? Because everyone knows that the title changes are not going to happen on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown. A room full of writers, you don't think, could sit and come up with that fucking concept on their own? You don't think that they could just happen to do... You think you're the only fucking person in the world who would say that? Who would go, let's think outside the box here. Let's switch up the title change days. Any fucking idiot in the exec room could think of that and go, like, tell the writers to make that happen. No, Jeff has to... It comes from the great mind of fucking Jeff Dye. This is fucking bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Like, to have this convo, and he is like the biggest fucking scrub. Look at this guy. 185,000 followers. This fucking video has just as many downvotes as it does upvotes. It's been played how many times? 2.6K views. It's 10 days old. Every single fucking comment in here is people talking shit about him. Either from Lemon Party, coming to the podcast specifically to talk shit about what he's saying. This is the mind of this person. This is someone who is so debased when it comes to their sense of reality. Like, it's unbelievable. It's like watching an apple fall off. Like you know what I mean? You're going, this guy's gone. He's not with the rest of us anymore. You know? And listen to this. More convoluted thinking. This is all coming from the fucking made up reality of Jeff Dye, right? He goes, yeah, I'm living my life, man. I'm going to the movie theater with my friends, right? He goes, I've been going to this one movie theater in Van Nuys. Every single time I go to it, no one's ever there. It's awesome. It's like my own personal movie theater. I bring my friends. I bring all. He makes it out to seem like it's the best movie theater ever, right? You ever stop to think that it's a shitty movie theater? You ever stop to think that maybe it's like a fucking fucked up, run-down ass movie theater that just sucks ass, that no one wants to go to? But you just have, so you can't even say that. Like I would say that. I would go, it's a little run down, and that's why no one's there. I like going to it.
Yeah.
But no, to Jeff, he has to make it seem like everything in his life is like stepping on rainbows and sunshine, and that it's all positive, it's all great. It's my own personal movie theater. He goes to a movie theater in Van Nuys, California. I could only imagine what that movie theater is like. It's probably half burnt down. There's probably homeless people all around the bitch. I don't know
anything about.
If it's in California, it sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about the movie theater personally, but I do know this.
I don't know anything about Van Nuys.
I don't know anything. That's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about Van Nuys, California. I don't know none of that. I don't need to know that. What I do know is that good, nice, well-kept movie theaters are not always empty, especially when movies are fucking playing. It's not the way that they work. And he's saying this like, we're going in the middle of the night. When a movie theater would be packed. It's not like you're going at 1 p.m. You get what I mean here? It's like there's all the signs to just, why can't you just say you like to go to a shitty, rundown movie theater because no one's in it? He has to make it seem like it's this great thing. Watch, listen to him do this.
Also, by the way, there's a theater in Van Nuys that every time I go, we're the only people in the theater. It's awesome. Like I took a girl there once and there was no one else there. I took last night the Monkey Triplets. We were the only ones there, which was also great because we were laughing so hard. There was so many like ridiculous things. I just laugh anytime a monkey does something. So like to watch the monkey wearing like a little shirt, like walking around. But I thought it was very funny. And we felt free to laugh as fucking loud as we wanted. We were like the teenagers in the theater, you know, behaving.
He's like, we were literally the only ones there. It was like Silent Hill. There wasn't even like a guy at the register. He's like, we just walked in. We had to put the movie on ourselves, but like, it was awesome. You guys should have been there. It was kind of a little bit spooky. There were no lights or anything like that, but the backup electricity worked. You know, he's like, this is what's so funny to me. He's like, we're cackling in there. We're hanging out with ghosts. You know what I mean? There's nobody else anywhere around. This guy fucking sucks, dude.
We were like the teen. I thought it was very funny, and we felt free to laugh as fucking loud as we wanted. We were like the teenagers in the theater, you know, behaving inappropriately.
I feel like the nicer movie theaters are trying to spread people out a little more because they already aren't getting the attendance they used to. But the local one right here in Sherman Oaks, like there's a big wall behind you now to where when you don't see the people in front of you, there's a whole shelf, there's a whole wall.
Oh, cool.
Like you feel very secluded off with all of your space. So
Jeff's sitting there scratching his chin. He's going, this motherfucker, bro. I'm like going to fire him. Like he's talking a lot this episode. Like I'm going to fire him. Like there's no way, you know? Because I'm sitting here talking about my life in this awesome-ass movie theater. You know, I was literally watching this monkey movie with Abraham Lincoln's ghost, okay, in this haunted, abandoned movie theater that no one was in. It was awesome. And now this guy's telling, he goes, I'm going to fire this guy. I'm going to fire. Look at his face right now. Jeff is mad. Jeff is like, oh, cool. Cool, man. You're going to tell your story on Die Hard, on the podcast Die Hard. You're going to do that? All right, cool. Let's see if you make it next episode.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of talk ish and not feel like you're just ruining it for everyone right next to you.
That's great. Yeah. I've just been going to this theater a bunch just because it feels like my own private theater. Like, it's like crazy. It was funny. The girl was like, we could have had sex in there. No one would have even noticed. And I was like, yeah, but that's the last thing we need.
That's the last thing we want is cockroaches crawling up your pussy. And, you know, there's nobody in here. It seems like the place hasn't been cleaned in weeks. Here's another one. This is like a Louis J. Gomez right here. You have to signal to the world that you get some puss. Hey, guys, in case you didn't know, we could have went without that story.
Right.
You know what I mean? That literally added nothing to the story, except like for you to try to boast your ego a little bit. Nothing funny came out of that. There was no like consequence. Like it wasn't like you were like, and then we had sex in the theater and a security guard came. Like, you know what I mean? And then that adds to the story, right? Like nothing like that. It's literally just a bragging point of yours just to, you know, put the cherry on the top of this little bullshit sandwich that you're trying to sell us. How your life is awesome. You go to a rundown movie theater in Silent Hill and it's your only fucking, it's your private little movie theater. I love that. We're going to go into the next set of time codes. That was my first experience, my first Jeff Dye experience. Give it up for Mr. Jeff Dye. We have another little set of time codes for Jeff Dye. And then we can either end the show on that. Maybe we'll get into something else. We'll figure it out. But these time codes right here, this one is the latest episode of Die Hard, right? Now Jeff's added a little something to the thumbnails. You see that? Now we have full HD 4K. Dolby Digital surround sound. Parental advisory. Explicit content. Red bar. You know? This is good shit now. Was that on the last thumbnail? I don't remember that
I don't
being
know.
on the last thumbnail. Let's see. I want to see if there was like an upgrade real fast. Was that on the last thumbnail? I have to make sure. Come on, open. Open! For some reason it won't. There we go. I was like, why won't the link open? Maybe it was on the last one. I saw it for a split second.
Oh.
All right. So now we have, this is the second, this is only my second episode of Die Hard, but this is the latest episode as of now, the time of recording, right?
Well, you know what drives me crazy about him in this particular whole segment? Those little pieces of hair that are coming forward.
His little like weird baby hairs that should be like split.
Yeah,
like how my hair is parted like
Yeah,
that. It's like
why?
it should be kind of like that, right?
Or just don't have them on your forehead like that. Like nothing else is on your forehead that way.
It is so funny. And like the last episode, we didn't even touch on it. Red Bar does his little hat too low, you know? Maybe that's a symptom of wearing your hat too low.
Well, he needs to put the hat back on.
In the last one, you notice that the fucking brim of his hat is like just barely over his eyebrows. He's like staring at you like this into the camera. Hat too low. Red Bar. My man Red Bar. Mike David, where are you? We need you to come back. Talk shit about Jeff Dye. And I need you to help me with some of the payments on all this shit. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Just a middle-aged...
Oh, no. Let's get into it. I want to go from the beginning. This is the beginning. I want to get a fresh... This is what it's like when he starts his show. Let's check this out.
Welcome to another episode of Die Hard. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your feedback on the last episodes. If you guys want to talk with me or...
Look, that's very interesting, right?
Struggling to look at that camera.
Very much struggling. Now, why? Why would you be struggling to look at the camera like that? This is a rhetorical question, Ashley.
Okay.
Now, you would you would be struggling with something like that because you might be feeding us a line of bullshit, right? The first thing he says, he goes, I want to thank you guys for all the feedback on the last episode, right? Let's check out the feedback on the last goddamn episode. Remember, I told you guys the comments was a fucking hate fest, right? Let's check out the feedback. Hey, Jeff Cry, I am personally hunting you on behalf of Ben Avery. You've been warned. Sounds like some pretty awesome feedback. What else do we have here? Why is everyone saying he is a free speech guy? Is it true he got Lemon Party shut down? That's a very good question. You're free speech, then why'd you get Lemon Party shut down? Brim still too low, Jeff Cry. You know, all of these, look at this. Where are the 180K subs? Laugh my ass off. This person talking about how many views his show is getting. Sad to see what this show has become. Hat too low. 180,000 plus subscribers, less than 1,000 views in the first day. Jeff die, more like Jeff dead. This is that awesome feedback that he's talking about here. Let's hear this again. Listen to this. This is why he can't look into the camera. He knows he's lying right out the rip. Well, watch this.
Share your thoughts. Feedback. Another episode of Die Hard. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your feedback on the last episodes. If you guys want to talk with me or share your thoughts, I'm
hairs all over your face. No, I'm just kidding. I can't. You can't do no red bar. Hat too low is too good. You can't fucking duplicate that. You know what I mean?
On Patreon. If you subscribe to be on Patreon, we can go back and forth. The only reason I'm forced to do that is because I don't look at the things on my social media, as far as Instagram and X and all those things. If you don't know, if it's the first time you're listening, for my mental health, I have not been looking at that. The internet is a place where your haters can talk to you, and so it's best for my mental health just not look at it. So I post and I ghost. I don't engage. I don't read. I don't even check my DMs. I don't do any of that stuff.
I love that. People do this now. Like Joe kind of tried to popularize this. He goes, I post and I ghost. I don't read the comments. I don't do. And they think it's like the coolest fucking thing, right? They think it makes them seem cool in a world of, rats that are running the rat race in social media, right? It lets them stand out. They post, they ghost. You don't see me reply to comments. You don't see none of that, right? Bullshit. And if you are doing that, it's because you're getting an overabundance of hate and you're tired of looking at it. And it really is fucking with your mental health. So to stay sane, you literally cannot bear the sight of it. But because of your job, you're a comedian, you're trying to get as much exposure, sell tickets, you have no choice but to be online. You have to do it. Same with Rogan's pussy ass. You go, I post and I ghost and then I do my podcast. It's like, okay, bro, we got it. Like, it doesn't make you cool, dude. It just makes you a fucking idiot. And then the more that you talk about it, the more we come to find out that you are reading the comments. If not yours, you're definitely reading somebody else's, right?
Yeah.
That don't seem like posting and ghosting to me. Seems like you're on there doing a bunch of other shit. You're just staying away from your section of the pool because you know it's the toxic part. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it says to me.
So if you wanted to engage with me about something I'm saying, or, if you wanted to hate on me and I'll actually be able to see it, you'd have to be paying me on Patreon to do it. So there's that. And the people that are on there, thank you for the things you're saying. Thanks for the feedback. It's interesting to hear people's takes on all of these subjects. I know that I bring up some heavy stuff on here. I bring up some stuff that I'm maybe not as educated on. I sometimes bring up stuff that no one cares about, like pro wrestling or baseball. I sometimes bring up things that they go.
Go ahead, hit
No,
me.
I just feel like doing a podcast and bringing up stuff you're not educated on by yourself.
It's dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could get you into a world of trouble saying all kinds of random shit.
Exactly. Like I don't do like the craziest amount. It's not like I know every fucking little thing about Jeff Dye, right? I know enough about him that I could talk shit about him by myself, right? But it's when you have someone else, you could kind of get away with it a little more because you could kind of riff. You know what I mean? You could bullshit about it. But to literally be sitting there on the solo dolo and just be like, George Bush does not care about black people. Like, you know what I mean? Just say like any old random thing. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, this guy's nuts. And to be it's one thing, like, I used to do the show by myself, this one, right? And I would say all sorts of shit by myself, right? But I was never trying to be serious. Like, it's just fucking around.
He's trying to be serious.
He's trying to be serious. And that's the issue. It's to your point. He's trying to be serious, and that's where you make the mistake. Because that's where people start to hold you accountable for shit that you're saying wrong. Like, if I'm just sitting here bullshitting and fucking going, every couple of minutes, something's happening, we're making jokes, nobody's going to take what I say serious anyway. You know how many times I watch back the show and I say the wrong person's name that we're talking about in fucking real time? Like, I will call this guy Jack by the end of this segment. You know what I mean? No one's going to call me out on it because I'm not I'm not being serious. There's nothing behind that, right? So, but him just out the rip, he's trying to be all serious and shit. It's like it doesn't work for him. And then the dishonesty. What? Thanks for the feedback. You took all that to heart? Really? So what? Are you in hiding now because somebody's hunting you on behalf of Jeff or fucking Ben Avery? You know what I mean? Did you take that feedback to heart? I hope so. Because you're in trouble, pal. You're in trouble. The lemon heads are coming. Now listen to this. You remember? Now listen to this. You remember you were asking me, you go, does this guy have money? And I was like, I think he might. Like, he has to have something, right? He lives in L.A. He's a full-time comedian, right? And then I heard him say this. And I go, maybe Jeff no have no money. You know? Maybe Jeff no have a lot of money like he say he have money, right? Listen to this.
4 shows. Me and Bowers had 4 shows at the Indie Helium Comedy Club. And great club, great staff, great city. The problem is I ventured into a snowstorm. I knew that...
What do we have here? What the fuck? We have a full-blown blackout. Right here. In the middle of the episode, we have a full-blown blackout. This is an editor's nightmare right here. To have a cut like this in the show. Now, you remember, we ended the segment, the last one. And I go, Jeff is staring at his producer right now going, man, this guy's talking a lot. I'm going to fire his ass. And it kind of looked like the producer got fired a little bit. To me. I don't know. I didn't hear him talk in this episode, but I was mainly just paying attention to Jeff's little hot button. Like, this was an episode that I was listening to while doing other stuff. And then when something perked my ear, that's when I go, time code it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't pay attention fully to hear if the producer was talking at all or not. I see a blackout like this in the middle of the goddamn episode. I go, he might have fired this motherfucker. Here's the thing. I don't know how many times we're going to see it, so this is why I'm going to bring it up to you guys. These little blackouts happened
the whole time.
The entire fucking episode. I'm not kidding. Every 45 to a minute and a half. Every 45 seconds to a minute and a half.
It's not even a long show.
It was 36 minutes long. And you maybe got fucking 16 minutes of screen time because everything else was blacked out. It was like he's in the middle of talking. All of a sudden, it just cuts to black. What was that about?
How does that happen?
It doesn't. And I'm an editor. I edit these shows myself, when I have to. We don't, edit cuts and stuff like that, but I edit the intro onto the show, the outro onto the show, shit like that. If I absolutely have to cut something out, sometimes we cut something. Typically, we don't. But even that, I as an editor, I go, in what situation would any editor see this and not pick up on the fact that the show has 9,000 fucking dead spots in it? It just doesn't make sense to me. To me, it seems like he edited it himself. He had no producer, and he goes, I can do it without you. You're talking too much on the show. Like I said before.
He needs to talk on the show.
The producer has to be there. You cannot give me these blackouts like this. And this isn't even what I'm talking about when I'm making the joke about Jeff being broke. I'm not saying, he can't afford
I know.
He's actually, I really think he's broke. I think he's broke based off of what he's about to say, but just the blackouts are fucking hilarious. And this is the entire show, guys. Go back and watch it for yourselves. It does this the entire show. There's blackouts like this. Listen to this.
Great club, great staff, great city. The problem is I ventured into a snowstorm. I knew that I was venturing into a snowstorm, so I have no one to blame but myself. But also, I didn't just want to cancel the shows. People had bought tickets. I didn't want to just be nope, there's a storm, I'm not coming. And so although I knew I was putting myself in a predicament, and I knew that a lot of people might not show up to the show because of the snowstorm, even if they did buy tickets, I knew that we'd have to issue a lot of refunds. I just figured it's better for me to honor the dates, no matter what happens. I just thought that was better.
I just thought that was better. Really.
More like you just want to make sure you got all your money because you were still having the function.
Exactly. You didn't want to lose out on even any ticket sales. You couldn't afford it. To the point to where you risked your goddamn life to fly in a goddamn ice storm, not even a snowstorm. Because he's talking about the one that happened last
Right.
week, not the one that we're currently in right now. Guys, we're in North Carolina right now. There is 19 feet of snow. It's insane how much snow there is here right now. It's fucking nuts. I ain't never seen nothing like it. And it's ruining my life.
Yep.
I need to get like vape and shit like that. I'm ruined. Okay? So, but that's just beside the point. It sounds like this nigga needs some goddamn money. If you're risking it all just to get however many seats you can in Indy, he's doing this show. Indianapolis, right? Or is that yeah, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indy. Yes, right?
Yes.
Indianapolis, the capital. You're going to the coldest goddamn place you could fucking possibly be in. Indiana's cold as a motherfucker, bro, with the Great Lake effects and all that out there. So you're going in an ice storm to like the coldest city you could possibly go to try to scrape together any amount of tickets that you could possibly get that night in the hopes of not having to give out refunds. To me, you seem broke as hell, my mother. You seem broke as hell.
And why are you talking about it?
I don't know. Like, I'm talking about it because this motherfucker.
Not you.
No, I know. Why is he talking about it? I don't know. It's a ballsy move, especially because this guy is really big on, like, being like, you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and work harder. You got to, like, get your own money.
Well, it sounds like he is working harder. He's going out of his way to make sure he's still getting as much money as he can.
Yeah, he worked hard for the money.
He is pulling his little bootstraps
He
up.
worked hard for it, sonny. Yeah. My man, he goes 15 miles through the sleet and snow to make it to that comedy show. That's what I had to do back in my day, you know?
He's going to say that.
He is going to say that.
He is going to say that.
Good old Jeff died. Now, listen, this is the attitude. This is the attitude. You're about to hear it right from the horse's mouth. Listen to Jeff.
That's why I'm having these arguments with my peers or arguments with other comedians or having these arguments on the internet because I am struggling to have empathy for these subjects. In my mind, I go, what the fuck are we doing? Like, knock it off. Grow up. Quit crying about it if you don't have money. Make some money. Go work harder. I have this mentality of like, just toughen up, Buttercup. Let's do this.
Ooh, just toughen up, Buttercup. I have trouble having empathy for people who are bitching about not having money, who are crying about the situations that they're in. I say, just work harder. I look at him, I go, toughen up, Buttercup. We're all going through hard times. Are we, Jeff? I want to shed some light on something for you guys. In case anyone here doesn't know about this, this is a little article. This came out, I think, last year. It's from a website called Cracked, right? This came out November 17th, 2025. This whole article, the title of it is Welfare Critic Jeff Dye Begs for Handouts to Help Him Run Away from Gavin Newsom. Very interesting stuff, right? I'm telling you, some of these guys can just write the most damaging fucking headlines that you could I bet you this has nothing to do with Gavin Newsom. And they're painting him out to be like someone who's scared of liberals. Like, you know what I mean? So fucking funny. Look, nothing screams pull yourself up by your bootstraps quite like a conservative comic asking his fellow taxpayers to subsidize his escape from the Socialist Republic of California. Very nice, right?
Okay.
Over the last 10 years, it's become a cliche in the comedy community for an unfunny, middle-aged white guy to loudly declare that Los Angeles, New York, and the mainstream entertainment industry are too woke for his unflinching edginess, and announced his intention to move to the conservative space of Austin, Texas. This is Jeff Dye saying all this, right? He wants to move. Now, he ends up fucking starting a GoFundMe to try to help fund his move from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas, right? This is the same guy we just got done hearing. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Suck it up, Buttercup. You got to get some money. This is also the same guy who's fucking going out in ice storms to hang out in practically Alaska to try to scrape together whatever ticket sales he can in the hopes of not having to hand you a fucking refund, right? Same dude. Let's not forget this. This nigga sets up a goddamn GoFundMe. People start calling it out. right away. Look at this. This is an old tweet of his. This is a tweet of his from November 16th. This is the day before the article came out. This guy quote tweets him, right? Jeff Dye in 2018. He tweeted, 90% of the GoFundMes I'm sent are just organized begging. I'm happy to help in emergencies, but a lot of y'all are just internet panhandling right now. Let's give it up. This is Jeff Dye. These are the words of a wise man right here, right? These are the words of a wise man. It'd be a little strange if this same guy were to start a whole ass GoFundMe, right? Look at this. This guy quote tweets this. This is Jeff's GoFundMe right here. Comedian Jeff Dye is making the bold move from California to Texas to dive deeper into the comedy scene and connect with like-minded individuals. This journey is driven by a passion for comedy and a desire to find a community that shares his creative vision. This is fucking inspiring shit. Join us in supporting Jeff as he embarks on this exciting new chapter. In my own words, quote, LA has become such a liberal cesspool that it is no longer worth being a part of. And I don't want to continue to give my tax dollars to a state. Look, he doesn't even write to a state. He says, I don't want to continue to give my tax dollars to a state that I've lost hope in. Nice. Jeff Dye with the grammar. Love it. Jordan Peterson once said, you're quoting Jordan Peterson in your fucking GoFundMe for real? Jordan Peterson once said, quote, if people aren't listening, stop talking to them. I want to talk to my people. This is words from Jeff Dye. He writes this in his fucking GoFundMe. Just the grammatical error of writing, I don't want to continue to give my tax dollars to state that I've lost hope in.
He didn't even want to run it through ChatGPT.
No. I love it. I love it. There's Jeff Dye's GoFundMe. Look, get out of LA. He was trying to raise $26K to fucking do this right now. What's the worst thing I can say? I'm trying to raise $26K so
how much,
long.
I mean, there he raised 25. How far did this get? And
It didn't get very far because people immediately fucking got on and started quote tweeting him about this. Well, what happened to all the shit talk about this kind of stuff, Jeff? And he fucking deleted it, right? When he deletes it, he ends up responding. Look at this. Regarding my GoFundMe post, I thought it'd be funny and rich guys would make big donations and we'd all be like, ha ha, Gavin Newsom sucks. Welcome to Texas. I was wrong. Instead, a bunch of loonies online went apeshit and lost their minds since it already seemed overwhelmingly negative. I'm gonna click on that. If he's writing more, all right. Since it already seemed overwhelmingly negative, I took the L and removed the GoFundMe. Refunded everyone. For the record, this made me more conservative after seeing the groups that it triggered. Now you're just doubling down because you just made yourself look like a total fucking pussy online.
Yeah.
Like you just came out to be, what's the word for that? A hypocrite. You just made yourself look like the biggest hypocrite online. And now you're doubling down on it and saying, you know what? I'm more conservative now over it. It's like, dude, what the fuck? You're so gay. You're so gay. It triggered me. Conservative people don't say triggered. Liberals say triggered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a fucking queer is what you are. And the rationale behind it. I thought a bunch of rich people would look at it and go, oh, that's so funny. Let me donate $10,000. Like Elon Musk is looking at it going, oh, Jeff Dye, comedian I've never heard of before. Let me donate $5,000 to her. This is hilarious. No. What are you, fucking high?
You said he hangs out with a bunch of, like, famous people. He should have told them, get on board and pay it unanonymously, and then everybody would, like, unanonymously.
I don't know, man. This whole
yeah, but that
thing
would have been
is
a whole scheme of too much.
Exactly. Your friends, and if you would have said that to your friends, they would have been like, why? Like, you're literally asking us for a handout, like, right now. Now you're just asking them for a handout with extra steps. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm telling you, I know you're trying to justify it and give them the benefit of the doubt. I know what you're trying to do.
All that.
No, I know exactly what you're doing. You're playing devil's advocate, which I love. You know what I mean? I love that. But there's no way he's thinking like that. You know, he thought that he could get away with this. And the fact that he didn't, he tried to fucking hide it by going, it was a joke. And the fact that you guys can't take the joke, I'm doubling down. I'm going to be more conservative. You might as well shove a whole dick in your ass. You know, you might as well say you're gay. You know, I think that this right here just kind of sums up what kind of guy we're dealing with here. And then this guy writes, just like all of your jokes, this one didn't land. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Good old Jeff Dye. I gotta love me a Jeff Dye, dude. All right, let's keep it going with these time codes right here. So Jeff, listen, this is all. I just wanted to point all this out to you guys because this is all the delusion. This is the delusional world that a guy like Jeff Dye makes up in his mind, right? And he even says it right here. Listen to this.
The reason I've only just now come to this conclusion at almost 43 years old is because my career, comedy, rewards me for those type of thoughts. When I get on stage and point out these absurdities, and I'm somewhat insensitive, but it's funny, people go, yeah, I kind of agree with that. That is truly how I feel.
The comedy scene rewards me for coming up with funny thoughts, like a GoFundMe to move to fucking Austin, Texas from LA. It would be hilarious if all of my fans paid for that, despite the fact me talking so much shit about handouts and like trying to play the conservative grift about people should strap up, you know what I mean, and do their own work, you know?
Where does he live now?
Jeff?
Yeah.
Austin, Texas. At least I think he lives in Austin, Texas. I'm pretty sure he moved out of Los Angeles. Okay. I still got to dive into that. Like, we're just getting into Jeff. Like, I'm just putting my toe into the Jeff pool. You know, I'm so late to the party. I will not be, like, too prideful to admit that. I'm a little late to the Jeff Dye train of hopping on this guy. But now that we're here, it's like, it's so obvious that there is just so much to unpack here.
I feel like I have questions.
There's a lot of questions. I have so many goddamn questions. We got to find the podcast where that girl tells the story of his DUI situation. And we watch that like live or something like that one of these days. But listen to Jeff. Let's wrap this up. We're going to wrap this episode up with Jeff's little delusional shit here. Listen to this.
So now I get validated and rewarded for thinking and communicating those thoughts. So it helps the career, helps me feel funny, helps my reality that I've built in my own head. But it is at times insensitive and at times lacking empathy.
And at times lacking a complete sense of reality. You know, the reality that I built up in my own little head, you know, he gets so much rewards from all these fake little things, these delusions that he has in his mind.
Like keeps him going.
That's what keeps him going, like his private movie theater. You know, these things. Jeff Dye has a private movie theater. It's in Van Nuys, California. You could go to it. You would not want to go to it. But because you don't want to go to it, it's his private movie theater. Yeah. You know, this is Jeff Dye. This is his reality that he's built in his mind. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for good old Jeff Dye, man. Hey, clap. I need claps. All right. The soundboard has officially crashed out. The claps will probably be here soon in the middle of me talking, but that about does it for this week's episode of Lost Ox Media. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around to the end. Be sure to, like, comment, subscribe, check out the, notification bell. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can catch the lives because we don't announce them. New episodes of Lost Ox Media go up every Wednesday. Be sure to check out the website, lostox.media, to buy merch so you can support the show. That's lostaux.media. There you can get hoodies, hats, mugs, all sorts of good stuff over there. And it helps us out a little bit on the back end. But if you want to help out more than anything else, more than any dollars could possibly add up to, tell someone who you think would like the show about the show. Spreading the word and getting the show as big as possible will definitely be the biggest help that we could possibly get over anything else. Until next week, I bid you all adieu, and I bid you goodbye. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm playing. I just might go suicide.
I'm deleting the whole episode.
Got my bag. Nigga running up on me is a mistake. Yeah, I'm coming, nigga fucking up the place. And I ain't got no time to be wasted. I'm crazy, nigga sitting in my bag. Nigga running up on me is a mistake. Get the fuck out of my way. Don't give a fuck, think I'm playing. I just go suicide. Give me a sack of my bag. Nigga running up on me is a mistake.